Alright, so in this tutorial we're going to be going over building and connecting the drawing robot to the computer, and then working in Scratch to learn to draw shapes on pieces of paper with the robot. We're going to learn to draw a triangle, a square, and then a polygon with however many number of sides you choose to input. Alright, so now we're going to build the drawing car. We have all the things we need here, 3 cubes. This piece is C204. This is a C120 piece. This one is C102. This piece is C205. This one is ET01. And then the 2 wheels are WL04. So we start by putting one of the cubes into this piece here. Leave that like that. Then we can connect the wheels to both of these. Make sure they are facing the correct way with the yellow button facing forward. Put the other wheel. And then connect these 2 together using C205. And then we have the wheels with the 2 yellow buttons facing forward. Now we need to put this large piece, C204, onto the bottom. Press that in. Take this piece back on the front. We're going to have the pen holder, and then on the back is this final piece. And then this sticks onto the rest of the car, and then it's done. So now we are going to connect the drawing bot to the Scratch program. So we're going to go down into the bottom left blue tab here, add extension. Scroll down until we see the ping pong drawing robot, and then just click on this. It's going to say looking for devices, and then you have to make sure you press the on buttons of the cubes in the correct way. So start with the front right one, press that one, turn it on, and then press it once to have it start connecting. Then do the same with the second one, and then the third one on top. And then it should be connected, and you'll see it come up on your Scratch program saying that it is connected. So now we're going to learn to draw a triangle using the drawing robot. So first, we're going to start with when the flag is pressed, when the flag is clicked to start the program, and then once the flag is clicked, we're going to set a variable. The variable is going to represent our external angle, which on a triangle is 120. So we're going to set the external angle variable to 120. Now after we've set the angle, we have to have the robot put the pen down. So we go down to the drawing robot blocks. You can drag this one in, and that puts the pen down. To draw the triangle, we're going to need to use loops. We're going to use a repeating loop to repeat this 3 times because we're drawing a triangle with 3 sides. Now, in the loop, we're going to have the drawing bot move 10 centimeters forward to start, and then we're going to have it turn, and it's going to turn by a degree of whatever our external variable is set to. So you can drag in the external angle variable, and that should be good. All we have to do now is, after the loop is done, have it bring the pen up, and it should be ready to go now. Alright, so now that we've finished with the triangle, we're going to do the scratch coding to learn to draw a square. So we're going to start with the same code that we just have, only the external angle on a square is 90 degrees, whereas on the triangle it was 120. So we're going to change that 120 to a 90. We're still going to want to have the robot put the pen down right after setting the angle. And then in our loop this time, since a square has 4 sides instead of 3, we're going to have this repeat 4 times. And then that should be it. We're still going to move 10 centimeters per side. The turning changes because we set the external angle variable to a different value. And then we're still going to have to pick the pen up at the end. So we're ready to run now. Alright, so now that we have drawn the triangle and square, we're going to learn to build a program in Scratch where we can actually select the number of sides of the polygon that the robot is going to draw. So we're going to start out as usual with the when the flag is clicked button, and we're going to have our sprite over here say, hello, click me if you want to draw a shape. And now we can take the block that senses when the sprite is clicked, throw that in here, and then we're going to get an ask block to ask the user how many sides they want, or enter the number of sides in the polygon you want to draw. And wait, so this is going to wait for the answer from the user, which is going to be a number, and after it asks that, we're going to create a new variable. The variable is going to represent the number of sides, and we're going to be setting the new variable to be equal to the answer from this input. After we get that, we're going to go down to the drawing bot blocks, have him hold down the pen, and then we're going to create a loop that repeats for the amount of times that is equal to our number of sides variable. So we can just put number of sides variable in there. As you remember with the square and the triangle, we had the loop repeat 3 times for the triangle and 4 times for the square. So we know that we want to have our loop repeat the same amount of times as the number of sides of the shape that we're going to be building. Now that we have our number of sides and our loop, we're going to have the bot go forward maybe just 5 centimeters this time, because if we choose a shape with a lot of sides and each side is 10 centimeters, that's going to be very large. And then after it goes forward, we're going to have it turn just like in the with the triangle and the square. And to determine the number of degrees that it is going to turn, we're going to have to do a calculation each time. So if you remember with the triangle and the square, the degree that we were turning was 120 and 90 for each of them. In both of those cases, that number is 360 divided by the number of sides. So that is the calculation that we are going to do for this one. So we'll put 360 into this side of the equation and then grab our number of sides variable for the other side. And so if we wanted to build a square, our number of sides would be 4. 360 divided by number of sides would give us a turn radius of 90 degrees, and that is what we want for the square. So we're going to throw that in there, have it turn left, that's correct. And then all we need to do now is, after the loop, have it bring the pen back up, and we should be good to go. All right, so now that we have this program built, we have to actually run it. So we start by clicking the go flag. Now that that's clicked, we have to click the spirit. He says, click me if you want to draw a shape. So I click him, and he says, enter the number of sides in the polygon you want to draw. So we are going to draw a pentagon that has 5 sides. So just enter that in there and hit enter, and it'll start running. Alright, so in this lesson we learned how to, with the drawing bot, draw different shapes like a triangle and square. And then we also learned how to teach the robot to basically draw shapes on its own when we just give it the number of sides. We used the repeat loop and a couple of blocks that come with the drawing bot itself. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's everything we learned today.